Hey guys, this is Neon. Welcome back to Clownfish TV. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're not here.
We're not.
We're actually, we're traveling this week, so we're pre-recording a couple of videos for the week, so we don't go without having videos. But just so you know, if we don't respond in the comments, that's because we're not here. But we want to talk about...
We've never been here.
We've never been here.
We've been a figment of your imagination the entire time.
We're total figments. We want to talk about toys. Since we're getting close to Christmas, we're going to talk about toys. The toys we grew up with, the toys we like the best.
I said the 5 top, most favorite toys you remember from when you were a kid that you're like, you know, we all had lots of toys. But what were your 5 top favorites? That's what we're doing.
Okay, so top 5 toys. So I think we're counting down, right?
Counting down.
Okay, so we're on number 5. So my number 5 is actually Muscle. Millions of usually small creatures lurking everywhere. It was actually Kanuki Man. It was an anime in Japan about like space wrestlers, and then they turned it into an American toy line. And they were like little pink rubber dudes that came in trash cans.
I remember this.
Or you could get them in 4-packs. And they came out, I think, in 1985 or 86. It might have been 86. And I had a bunch of these guys. I had the wrestling ring. I had the poster you could mail away that had all the characters on it. And it's really cool because Super 7 makes them again.
I was going to say Super 7's doing them.
Yeah, they are, but they're doing other characters besides just the Kanuki Man characters. They're doing like Mega Man and Masters of the Universe and Robotech, and I think they do She-Ra. But yeah, they were fun. We used to take them to school because they were small. You could like stick them in your backpack, and then we would either trade them or wrestle them or whatever during lunch.
You'd wrestle the toys, not each other.
Not each other. We weren't allowed.
I don't know if you're wrestling for the toys or
No. We would get in trouble for that. But
yeah,
no,
our school frowned upon that kind of stuff.
We used to trade them because if you brought bigger toys in, they usually took them away from you, or you could bring like a big toy in for show and tell.
Yeah.
But Muscles, you could just like stick them in your pocket, stick them in your backpack, and a lot of kids had them in their desks. I remember they had Muscle figures tucked away in their desks. So good times.
Okay. Well, my number 5 was Glamour Gals.
I didn't have any of those.
No. Do you want to pull the picture up? Because
I do.
We have one.
I do want to pull a picture. There
yes, these. I felt old now. They look dated, but they were like in the mid 80s. I remember having them. So I like these a lot. I had several. Had many. I like them.
Now they look almost like they're Kenner. They're almost like Star Wars figures with brushable hair.
Yeah, they were the same size as Star Wars figures, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's what they were. They were like, female action figures with brushable hair.
Now they had
because it's so important.
These dudes, were these the guys?
I didn't really have the guys. They did have guys. I didn't really have any of them.
They look like they're going to the disco.
There you go.
They all look
I had
like
several of those.
This looks like Studio 54 or something.
Yep, I like them.
I like the names: Jessie Blue Moon, Danny Purple Passion.
But I think the outfit was cool. The first word is the name. The Blue Moon Purple Passion is the outfit.
Okay, so this is like Shara and Rootin' Tootin' Rose.
Right. So
Lonnie is going gold. Oh my God, these are like
I remember that one.
These are like Instagram usernames.
Before it
Jessie
was a thing.
Cinnamon Toast, RJ Beach Party, Shara the Cranberry Cutie, Chad Showtime Wear. What is this 31? I'm buying it. I'm totally... Oh my God, look at this guy. This guy right here. This is Chad in Showtime wear.
And next to him is number 15 is Brian in Dinner Date.
Dinner Date Brian.
Yep, and 32 I can't read. Oh, Lonnie and Fun Fur.
Fun Fur?
So anyway, I like those.
I remember, this one looks like Ken. They were like little, they're like Star Wars figures.
Yeah, they weren't very expensive.
Hair.
Yeah.
I remember seeing them at the drugstore.
Yeah,
they were like the same size. Yeah, they came in the same size.
I used to get them at Hills because that's where the toys were.
Hills was awesome. I don't know.
I wish if someone would bring back Hills and then made the toy section epic again, I think I'd be happy inside.
Oh my God, they have a boat.
They did. They had a cruise ship.
They have a cruise ship.
Yeah, and they had collectible cases and everything. Anyway.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking Chad and Showtime wear that pink and purple get up, and he could be hanging on the cruise ship.
That's right. It was like Love Boat.
Damn it, that's pretty awesome. Okay,
so let's go. So what's your number 4?
Number 4 is Masters of the Universe. Of the Universe, which I'm gonna see if I can find. I'm skipping ahead.
He's in the toy catalog.
I am. Here we go, because we got the Fright Zone here. Masters of the Universe. This is the 1985 Sears wish book. It's my all-time favorite wish book.
I remember the Wish books. I love the Wish books.
And I think 1985 was actually the best year for Masters of the Universe. I think it was like all the good stuff was pretty much out by then, and then like a year or two later, it just died.
Yeah.
But at that point, we had the Evil Horde was introduced, and then we still had all the characters, Castle Grayskull. A lot of the older figures were still available. I love He-Man. I actually had, we talked about this in a video that should be coming up later in the week, where we talked about the origin of He-Man and She-Ra. But I actually had the He-Man figures before the cartoon show was on. And I didn't know, because back then, we didn't have an internet or anything, but I had the figures for about a year before the cartoon show was out. I had He-Man, Skeletor, and a couple other ones. And then the cartoon show came out, and I remember being like, hey, that's really cool. And then I'm like, that is nothing like the comic books. It came with the toys. It was nothing. It was
way different.
I'm like, who is Prince Adam? Where did he come from? But yeah, I loved He-Man, and my friend Craig, he was really into He-Man too, because he was in we were like into fancy stuff like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, so it was cool because it was like barbarians and sorcery and all kinds of badassery. Epicness. Until the end, then it just got dumb. Just got really dumb.
I recognize most of those characters, Orko and Cyclone, and
no Slime Pit. I'm disappointed.
You didn't like Slime.
No, I still don't. I don't like Slime.
No, he doesn't. He hates it. Okay, my number 4 is going to be surprising to some people. It is Mask. I loved Mask. My brother had it. He had every one of those things on that page. My brother had, I don't think he had the Boulder Mountain though, but he had he had all the vehicles and stuff, and I loved it. And the great thing about, with having a brother was, I can get all the stuff I wanted. He can get all the cool stuff like Mask, and I could play with both. So it was like a win-win. But he had all that stuff, everything on that page except for the big play set he had.
I actually had Boulder Hill. I had some Mask. I didn't have a whole lot of it. But it was fun. I guess I never really got into it as much as.
Oh, I loved it. I love the show. I used to watch all the time.
My cousin Kenny, he was really into Mask. That was like he had like everything, and my friend Joe had like all the Mask stuff too. But I had a couple. I had like 5 or 6 vehicles, and I got Boulder Hill for Christmas one year.
Here, show the next picture too, because I think I believe it's Mask also, and I'm excited about this one because it's a twofer. Because there's Mask on the one side, and there's Fluffy Dogs on the other.
Fluffy Dogs.
They didn't make my top 5, but they were like right underneath.
We still have them. We still have.
I do. I have Fluffy Dogs on the shelf next to me. I love them. They're not my originals, but
tracked them down for you.
I do. I love my Fluffies. I love Fluffy Dogs.
I have never had Centurions. I never had them. No. I just thought they were dumb. I never got any. I know some people love them, but I never had them.
So what's your number 3?
Number 3 is Transformers, which we're going to go back through the catalog here because I like this catalog. Here we go. Again, 1985, probably the best year for Transformers. Mm-hmm. This is when they still had all the original characters, and we had Devastator. Even though they screwed up. How do you screw that up? That's not how you transform Devastator.
My brother had
He's like
all
a
that
midget.
Too.
What they do?
My brother had a bunch of the Transformers. Was like his number 1. I think Transformers was like his big thing. He liked Mask too, and he liked. He liked a couple other things, but Voltron. He liked Voltron.
Yeah,
but Transformers was his thing. Like he had tons of Transformers. That was my brother's thing.
I actually got more. Now, I was really into Transformers as a kid, but I got more into Transformers as I got older. Again, part of the reason I think I wasn't into Transformers so much is 1, I was young, and 2, I was poor. So, I was obviously poor because I had, I was, like a little kid. I didn't have any money, but they were expensive. Mm-hmm. Like they were really expensive.
They were expensive.
And not that I was a poor kid, but I'm just saying they were like.
You weren't a poor kid, but anyway, go ahead.
But
I know you weren't, but go ahead.
Okay. But no, it's just they were expensive because it was like like birthday parties and stuff. Kids would get you like GI Joe figures and He-Man figures and stuff. But to ask for a Transformer, you're like a $20. Now the cars are like $10, but as the series went on, it just seemed like they got more and more expensive. It was either like you had the mini bots or you had like the ridiculously expensive.
And they were expensive, and I'm just thinking about how many my brother had. I mean, I can't tell you. We're like talking a giant tote full of them. So my parents spent a lot of money on him having Transformers because he had so many. Yeah,
I had some. I didn't have. Now I made up for it later. Like right after we got married, I went on a Transformer.
Oh yes, you did. Well, that was my fault. I started it.
binge, and I went buying like every freaking Transformer.
That was my fault. I started it. I bought you some, and that set you off.
Oh my God, we had so many. We
did. They used to look at me from the shelf, and it would creep me out. And then I had to clean that shelf. I had to pick up every single stupid Transformer and dust it.
600 or 700.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
Crazy. Then I sold them all when we bought our house, and then Geeky just a couple months ago started buying me more.
I know. I sold all. To be fair, I sold all my ponies too to buy the house. So that was your number 3. My number 3, of course, is. Go ahead, click on it. Wrong way. We're going backwards. There,
oh my
She-Ra.
God.
That's my number 3, She-Ra. I love She-Ra.
She's only number 3.
Well, I there's 2 other ones that trump it that I loved even more than She-Ra. But She-Ra was like my thing. I love She-Ra. My sister liked it too, and so like my sister would always go for the play sets, and I'd always go for the small toys. And then it was great because my sister had the play sets, and I'd have all the little toys. Like we just share, we could have everything. But we had you're skipping ahead.
Oh, I thought we had another She-Ra.
No, so that was my thing. Was there was a shelf picture, but I don't know what you did with it.
I think it's over. There it is.
There it is. We have Gem and She together.
Oh, because it's a combo.
Right. So She-Ra, you know, I love She-Ra. I need to catch her. Anyway,
they have brushable hair.
They have brushable hair. That's what I'm telling you.
Most of your toys, except for Mask, have.
They all have brushable hair.
Brushable hair.
That is the common theme, except for Mask. I said people would be surprised by Mask, but yes, Mask was definitely in the top 5. Okay, so now your number 2 is
G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. And let's pull up the catalog.
Remember they had the rubber bands in them?
Yeah, and they
break in half.
They brought. Here we go. I never
remember
had
they used to break in half.
Now, yeah, they did. I think I had more G.I. Joe than I had anything else. I had so much G.I. Joe stuff. When we first got married, actually, all my toys, we had them shipped in from California because they were in storage at my parents' house. And I had so much G.I. Joe.
You had a lot of Masters of the Universe, too.
I had a lot of, and that kind of shows you, like, I mean, the Transformers are expensive, but G.I. Joe, like, you could pick the figures up for $2.99, you know, and I would get, basically, like, all my money when I was a kid went to G.I. Joe figures and comic books. Like, that's what I bought, you know?
Because you could. It was
they were affordable. They were like $2 or $3, you know, each. And then the vehicles, I would usually get the vehicles for, like, you know, birthday presents, Christmas. Sometimes I'd buy them on my own, but they were expensive, too. Like, a lot of the vehicles were, you know, $20, $30. Now, I never had the big stuff. I never had the aircraft carrier. That's for, like, rich kids. I don't know. I don't even know.
I think it was because of room. I mean, to be honest with you.
Where would you put it? It was like Barbie's dream house for boys, basically.
It was like they were so big. I mean,
it was crazy. Huge.
And then there was a big trend for a while that everything was small, but they folded up, and now it's back to big sets again, I think.
I did have a lot of this stuff, though. I had, I had a lot of G.I. Joe. I had all this. I had these. I don't know. I had a lot of G.I. Joe. Love G.I. Joe.
Well, my number 2 is Gem. Because she's excitement and adventure.
She's truly outrageous.
She is. There. Gem. I love Gem.
And she had brushable hair.
Love Gem. She had brushable hair. I love Stormer was my favorite. Gem and Stormer are my 2 favorites. I had Gem. We had Stormer. My sister had Pizzazz. And she had Shayna. We all both had Gem, of course. She had Shayna and Pizzazz. And I had Stormer and Gem. And I think I had another one, but I can't remember. Maybe it was Kimber. I can't remember what. I think we had Aja, too. I think my sister had her. I love Gem. I love Gem. And I have a thing for, like, dolls. Like, dolls are my thing.
Because they have brushable hair.
Probably. But I mean, like, when I'm talking dolls, I'm talking, like, dolls like the Gem dolls.
Yeah, I used to watch Gem. It used to be on, it was on, originally they had, I think it was like a Sunday morning. I think it was called Super Sundays. And it was like, they had, like, Bigfoot and the monster trucks. And then they had robotics. I think it was robotics. And then Gem, like, they did shorts, and then they moved her to her own show, and it used to come on the morning before G.I. Joe. It was like
Gem was actually good. I mean, even boys like Gem. Gem was good.
It was like,
there was adventure, excitement, ass kicking. It was a great show.
It was a good show.
It was.
Okay,
so what's your number 1? And I allowed this because I think a lot of people this would be like number 1.
Yeah, it technically wasn't a toy, but my number 1 most favorite thing from the 1980s is the NES.
I think a lot of people are going to agree with you.
I logged in so much time.
My brother spent tons of time on Nintendo too.
And so he actually has this. But I remember more than anything as a kid was like going to you'd go to different stores, you go to toy stores, you'd go to even like department stores, and they had the World of Nintendo. Either they had.
This reminds me of Sears right here. Sears always had this. I remember.
They had the case, and then. Some of the places they got really fancy and they had their own little kiosk, but most of them, they had their own like Nintendo store store within a store. And I remember going to, we talk about Hills. Hills had their own, they had their own like video game cubicle. Like you would go in, it was almost like some grocery stores where they have the bar, where they have the alcohol. You go into its own little like section, and they have their own register there. That's what they did with the video games back then. And they had like they'd have like 3/4 of it was Nintendo, and then it was like all the other crap that nobody wanted, like the Sega Master System and the Atari 7800.
Well, didn't you sell Nintendo? Did you have to wear the vest and everything?
I did. Yes, one of my first jobs. It actually wasn't my very first job, but one of my first jobs was selling Super Nintendo when it first came out.
I sold Super Nintendos too.
I had to wear. I worked at a KB toy store, and I sold Super Nintendo, and I had to give out Yoshi stickers because they were pushing Mario World. But this was, I think it was out a couple. It was out a couple of years already because I remember. Well, one, I wouldn't have been. Yeah, I was too young when it first came out. But it was. I want to say it was like 94, 95 somewhere. Let's just show you how old I am. But they had like Mario Kart out for it, and I think Donkey Kong Country was coming out for it. But they were pushing. They were really pushing. Then I had to, like, the end of the night, I had to go scrape all the freaking Yoshi stickers off the carpet because the kids would take the stickers as they came in the KBs, and the KBs, they were all carpeted, so then they'd stick the stickers on the carpet and mash them in.
And why did the parents let them do that?
Because the parents are idiots.
My kids did that.
They
get in big trouble.
But then I got in trouble because we had a Super Nintendo out front, and then we had a Sega Genesis and a Sega CD, or I think they may have 32X coming out then. And I used to play in my Nintendo vest. I used to go over and play the Sega, and people would see me playing the Sega with my Nintendo vest on. I wasn't supposed to do that. I was allowed to
Rebel.
play. I was, and then I wound up buying a Sega CD, which is like my biggest regret ever. The Sega CD was just balls, because they had like 3 games.
That's your biggest regret in life.
No, it's not my biggest regret. Well, no, I worked so hard for that. It was $350 or something. I saved my money for it, and it was garbage because it had like all the good games came out like 2 years after it came out, and I actually sold it before then. I went and bought a Super Nintendo. I'm like, screw this. It just didn't have any good games.
I would have picked Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And my number one, and it was always my number one as a child, always Barbie. When in doubt with me, buy Barbie. And I had Dream Glow Barbie and Dream Glow Ken, and I loved it. I love Dream Glow Barbie and Dream Glow Ken.
I remember those. Yeah.
When in doubt, buy me Barbie. And if you keep looking at other pictures, because I love Barbie, I had the bed, I had the vanity, I had the shower, even had the little hot doggy McDonald's type thing down the corner. What is that? I had a McDonald's playset too.
Barbie's time to cook, so Barbie goes to her favorite snack shack.
I had the snack shack. I also had the McDonald's playset.
Is that snack shack?
Like, for me, when in doubt, Barbie it out. Because it was just, I love Barbies. Barbies were my thing.
So is this little geeky if she had red hair? That would be you with your Barbie in your backpack.
That would have been me. Where's the toy catalog? They had Barbies in there too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Now, okay, we're in the boys section. We got to go.
I'll
put a link to this in the video description. This is the 1985 Wish book. It's got everything Star Wars, Wheeled Warriors, freaking Mask. Now we got to go past all the boy stuff.
It's way back. So
all the boy stuff. Look at all the boy stuff.
I had the Rock Tumbler too. I got it that year, the exact one.
Oh my god!
I got it out of this catalog.
It's because everybody's toys came from.
They're back. I had her. That was Day to Night. When I thought with the Barbie, the briefcase, that's her right there. Day to Night Barbie. I had that one. And I don't know what else.
It's like Legally Blonde.
It is kind of. I had Day to Night Barbie. My sister had that one. I think I had a red one and she had a pink one.
She's letting Ken drive. What is wrong with her?
Because I don't know. I had that Barbie too. I think that's Day to Night Barbie, right? That's when she's nighttime, right there. That's
her. Is this douchebag Ken?
No, it's Day to Night Ken.
Day to Night Ken.
I had him also.
Ken. Looks like.
No, dude, Ken always looked like a douchebag back then.
He did.
That was like the way I did not have Peaches and Cream Barbie, but I wanted her.
Peaches and Cream Barbie. I remember the commercials for these because they used to run the Barbie commercials during all the boy cartoons too.
And I'll tell you what, besides Gem, I really liked Barbie and the Rockers, and that would have been later.
That was later. What is this? But this is not Barbie. This is Lindsay.
Lovely Lindsay.
She's a knockoff.
I like Barbie and the Rockers quite a bit, and you know what? I used to like that they had that with Barbie, especially they had a big push back around the time Barbie Rockers came out and stuff. They had all different kinds of Barbies, and it was very diverse, and I loved it. My favorite doll was Whitney. Perfume Pretty. I Perfume Pretty Whitney.
Which was the one that you had the horrific accident with?
Perfume Pretty Whitney.
Was that Perfume?
Oh wait, no, which one?
Where she became Elastigirl.
Oh no. Okay, no. There was a doll back, and it was a really long time ago, and it was it had curly hair, and you put solution on the hair to relax the hair, and it was like, so she had curly, like, permed hair, and then you could go straight. And I got it for Christmas, and like 2 days later, one of my siblings laid her on the heater, and I went to lift her up, and her arms just kept going. I was so upset. I sat and cried.
Oh no! So she turned into.
It was my present, and then they ruined it.
She turned into Elastigirl. Didn't you get one years later? I thought you got.
No, that one.
Got Space. Who did you get? We had her in the attic.
Perfume Pretty Whitney.
That was Perfume Pretty Whitney.
Yeah, but now she's all sticky and gross because the plastic's kind of blah. I'd find another one. But anyway, so that was my number one. Barbie was my thing. That's why I like Jem was number 2, and then She-Ra, because Barbie was this, always went Barbie. That was my tried and true.
Can we go flipping through the wish book here, because they have all kinds of stuff. This is like glamour Barbie, expensive. Look at all the Barbie clothes. My God, Barbie. Wait, this is Ken. Ken can join the army. And Barbie's dream house.
Did not have dream house.
Expensive back then.
I had a house, but my parents built it for me, and it was huge. It was way bigger than a dream house, and my parents built it.
This is not Barbie's dream house. This is the knockoff Sears one. It's called the Fashion Mansion. That's Barbie's dream house.
My friend had that.
$104. Now
I think I had the day to night office. I think I had that. The number 2. I'm pretty sure I had that also. I had that.
That's where Power Suit Barbie works.
I had the kitchen. I had that kitchen. I had the pool. The number 7.
Yeah.
I had number 7. I had the kitchen.
We had.
I also had her dog, Prince. My sister had the workout one.
Oh my God, stationary bike Barbie.
I had Crystal Barbie. That was the one that was in the iridescent outfit. Cabbage Patch Kids.
These are the runners up. The Cabbage Patch Kids.
They almost made my list with Fluffy Dogs. Care Bears almost made my list too.
I think all this stuff is in there. Mine actually, I had a Cabbage Patch Kid and it looked like that one.
Mine had red hair and blue eyes. Like a bunch. Things.
What is that?
These are the Freaks of Nature page.
Oh, it's Chucky.
Freaking Nature page. That's
Chucky,
what that is. Okay.
Hug a Bunch. These things are horrible. They're not.
These are all scary things on the one page.
These are all Rainbow Bright. Yep, look, Murky and Lurky look right.
That's because that was Murky and Lurky.
Well, I'm just saying they look better than the comic book. Oh, here we go. We got She-Ra. How much did She-Ra cost back in the day? I think you had to buy them in a 2-pack. No, they were $6.99 each.
That's well, for inflation, that was actually pretty expensive.
I think He-Man, if I remember.
Well, Sears charged more too, if I remember.
Sears did charge more. They were expensive.
Anyway, so you get the idea. There's like a lot of cool things, and you can look up these wish books from different years, right? Yeah, they actually have an archive out here. Care Bears. They have an archive at wishbookweb.com, and they have like all the wish books. This is basically proto Amazon. So good stuff, but. Yeah, so we're gonna wrap this one up. Like I said, we're not really around much this week, but we will be back next week with a whole bunch of videos. Hopefully, and there should be some more videos coming this week that we banked. So, what were your favorite? If you had to pick 5 favorite toy lines from when you were a kid, what would your 5 favorites be? Yeah, what are your favorites? And we have a lot of people that watch that are younger, so I'm kind of curious. That's why I mean too. That's why I'm like, what are your 5 favorite toy lines? Go ahead and list them and let us know. Yeah, let us know. We'd like from number 5 being your top 5 to number 1 being your favorite. There you go. There we go. Let us know. Subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, rants, art videos, gaming videos, and more. This has been Neon and Geeky. Bye.